pep talk time. Welcome to Kyera in My Pocket, where personal transformation gets intimate, raw, and uncensored. So do not say that I didn't warn you. I'm Kyera Kacey, founder of Liberate Her, an international best-selling author of Rich Bitch Money Goals, Becoming the Energetic Match to Wealth. I have coached thousands of women around the world using our 9 iconic rich bitch principles to change their lives, their businesses, and their bank accounts. So get ready for unfiltered stories, TMI moments, and the exact mindset and embodiment shifts that have helped me build a multi-7-figure empire. I am here to help you on your path to personal and professional success. So tune in, turn up, and let's fucking go. I got a pocket full of Kyera. Whoa. I couldn't help myself. Let's go. All right. Part 2, write the damn book. I got some stats for you. Don't come after me if they're not correct, okay? I think they are, but don't come at me. This actually sounds correct. Okay, so 81% of people say they want to write a book someday. Fewer than 3% actually start writing one. Can we just pause for a second? Out of 81% of people that say they want to write a book, fewer than 3% actually start. Less than 1% ever finish and publish their first book. So this means that roughly 1 out of every 100 people who say, I want to write a book, actually make it happen. That is insane. If that does not tell you the level, like the standards, the low fucking standards that people have of themselves and for themselves, like I don't know what to tell you. That is ridiculous. If you have a dream and it matters enough to you, you need to be in the right spaces and places with the right fucking people that remind you of who you are, that have you get off your fucking ass and bring your dreams to life. And I can tell you right now, it's not easy. So if you want to sit there and be like, yeah, writing a book is easy. No, it's not easy. It's just entirely possible. Anything that I have done in my life I can't say it's been easy. And I don't believe that we're here for easy. I think that, first of all, I believe that there are a lot of different worlds outside of this one. Do I think aliens exist? 100% I do. And I think that being a human is probably one of the toughest things. I believe we are here to learn lessons so that we can evolve. And if it were easy, it wouldn't be a fucking test. If you knew the answers to everything, it wouldn't be a test. Okay. So please, for the love of God, if you want to write a book, if you want to become an author, if your dream is to become an author, you got to find the people that are in the 1% mentality that are making shit happen. That is something I will say, like, I don't think that's talked about when it comes to writing a book. I think majority of the world is complaining. I think they're stuck in victim mentality. I get it. I was there many years ago. I'm not there today, which is why I have created the kind of success that I have. But I also say this because I want you to understand what is possible. So if we go back to part 1, when I said why I wrote She Dares, it's because I wanted people to read my story and be like, holy fuck, if this woman has gone through all of this and came out on the other side, I know that I could do it too. So anyway, so let me go back. I'm looking at some of these questions that I have here. Another question I got were, what were surprises and things that you didn't anticipate, both good and bad? That's an interesting one. What surprises? I don't think that there really were many surprises. If I'm being honest with you, like I can't, there really wasn't anything. I think the only thing that really surprised me was I've heard of people that don't copyright their material, and like someone else can literally, like, you could publish a book, not copyright any of it. Somebody could just fucking take it and then go and publish it. And I'm like, that to me is wild. Like, I'm the type of person, I like to be original. So I'm like, do I even follow people? Like, most people on my socials are muted, not because I don't love you, but I'm in such a creative state. I want to stay there. I don't want to create based off of what somebody else has done. I want my inspiration coming through my own channel. So I think that's really the only surprising thing I can think of. Okay, here was another question. How many hours or months did it take? I'm going to answer this in a different way because I don't recall. I can tell you when I wrote the second edition for Rich Bitch Money Goals, we added, I think maybe 7 chapters were added, but every single chapter was like redone, completely elevated. And I started that process. Really, I'd say I started that, I don't know, end of November, and we published the book. I think I had to be done by March. So, but again, the meat of that book was already written. And I think a book could take you your entire life, or it's something that you could do you could do it in a month, you could do it in a day. So I don't think that I wouldn't personally ask somebody the question, how long did your book take you to write? Because what you're really asking is, do you think I could do this quickly? That's actually what you're asking. I guarantee it. And the answer is yes. If you want to write a book quickly, if you want to write it in 1 month and have it published, like you could absolutely do that. So I wouldn't look at like how long it's taken other people, because that's their own process that has actually nothing to do with what's possible for you. Okay, how did you find a publisher, and at what were the steps? So this is really interesting because I'm the type of person where I really don't find things. So I have a saying in my business, my clients know this very well. We do not find clients, we attract them. And I was getting ready to start working on the second edition of this book. And my team member and my business partner, Jenny Bittner, she's like, wait a second. I happen to know somebody who has a publishing company. Let me just reach out to her. I'm like, okay. I think we were on the phone with her the next day, and she was so excited to take me on. And so it actually just happened very quickly, very organically. And it was one of those moments where I was like, if we're going to do this book a second time, like if I'm going to go through this whole process to republish this, to elevate and update the entire book, I'm just a go big or go home. I really wanted this in the right hands. And at first it was just like, let's get like a really professional editor, like let's do that. But then it just turned into me getting a publishing deal. So I wouldn't be the person, if you're looking for like a step by step, I would say go to Google, go to YouTube. But when it comes to energetics, that's what I get really excited about. And I would be the type of person to say, if you want to manifest and create a publishing deal, then start tuning into what that looks like for you. Because here's what's really cool. So my publisher is not traditional. So she's more of like a hybrid. What does that mean? That means that I had creative say for this book. This means that I got to choose the book cover. In traditional publishing, like I don't even know if you have any say. So there was definitely a lot of input between, everybody on her team and her staff. But at the end of the day, I got to choose what felt really good for me. And that was really important for me because I'm just not the kind of person that does well with being told what I can or can't do, especially when it comes to a creative project. And so having that hybrid was really important for me. I'll give you another example. This was another big one. So there were a couple chapters that they wanted me to name something different. And there was also like a layout that they wanted differently. And so one of the things that they had stated was Rich Bitch. If you go through, so Rich Bitch is essentially an acronym for change. Okay. The R stands for responsibility. I is integrity. C is courageous conversations. Like this is a methodology for change. And they wanted that to be later on in the book because they didn't want to lose any readers. And for me, I was like, no, this has to be the beginning of the book. Like, this is so important. And so I was able to make that final call. And I went with my intuition over a professional's opinion who has been, in the world of books and publishing and all of the things for like her whole life. And I think that just, again, it goes back to like, you've got to know yourself enough to trust what your intuition is bringing through, because sometimes you're going to have someone in a position of authority telling you what they think is best. And sometimes that's going to look very different than your intuition. So I think it's really important for you to have a really solid relationship with your intuition so that you're following that over anything else. All right, here's another question. How did you decide to write what you wrote? Okay, so let's talk about Rich Bitch Money Goals. And again, I think this is really important because if you're sitting down going, I want to be an author, but I have no idea what to write. There's nothing wrong with that. But what if instead you were to be like, I feel like I have something to share with the world. I'm not quite sure what that is, but let me just start opening up my channel to inspired downloads, divine downloads, to come through and have it be something that is so perfect that I can't not write. So when I was writing Rich Bitch Money Goals, I was busy, full-time clients, full-time this, like I had my membership, I had my mastermind, I had my private clients, retreats, getting ready for this live event. Like I've got a live event that is happening in Nashville, November 7th, 8th, and 9th. I was like, what's the VIP night? VIP night is the 6th. So anyway, so like I'm very, very, very busy. I've got 2 dogs that run my life. So you could say there's never time to write a book. You got to make the time. But I was so passionate about this that I couldn't not write it. Any spare time I had, I was working on this book, but not from a place of like, the clock is ticking, I need to get this done. It was like there was nothing else that I would rather be doing than my work and writing this book. And I was so excited about it. And so, Rich Bitch Money Goals, becoming the energetic match to wealth. My desire for this actually stemmed from 2016 when I went through my first divorce. When I found myself in this financial position of I can't pay my mortgage, I was like, okay, just because my husband did these things and then he had an affair, like that shouldn't impact me financially, but it did because I hadn't set myself up to be okay on my own. And I realized that was probably a story for many, many women. They find themselves in these positions in a marriage where they're not financially stable on their own. And so if their husband wants to fuck off with the secretary, like she's like, what am I going to do here? And so I really wanted to teach women how to create financial freedom, but I wasn't in a place yet to do that. And so that's when I decided, okay, I'm going to heal from this divorce. I had a million reasons to be angry, a million reasons to blame everyone else. And the R in Rich being personal responsibility was something that has actually been a massive key code to success in my life. I can share so many stories with you on how I have used that principle to create success after success after success. We'll go into that in another episode. But so when I moved my business online and I started working with women going through a divorce, there was just this natural pivot eventually to women asking, how was I making money? And I started teaching it. And then I was like, holy shit, people are making money, but they're still feeling broke. This is a problem. And like Rich Bitch Money Goals it was just born out of this natural, organic unfolding of taking the next step and the next step and the next step and the next step. And so I really wanted to teach this new experience of wealth because I also, my sister passed away on December 23rd of 2021. And so the first title in my book is called Kim because my sister had access to a lot of money. And what I wanted for women to start to understand was that money does not equal happiness. Does money make your life easier? Fuck yeah. But in the Rich Bitch community, we define wealth as the experience of self. And so I'm not interested in you making a lot of money while feeling like shit or feeling broke. I want you to actually feel wealthy from the inside out. We say that internal success creates our external results. And so there was like everything about this book has my energy in it. It has my truth in it. It has the steps that I have taken to go from debt to creating a multi 7-figure business. And I wanted to share that. Like I wanted to leave something for the world that would make a difference. And so Rich Bitch Money Goals came to life. And maybe you have a book that is fantasy or it's entirely different. And like, that's okay too. I think at the end of the day, here's what I would say when it comes to writing a book. Just start, because most people are looking 20 steps ahead when they haven't taken the first step. And then they fall into like the massive percentage of the world that has this desire to write a book and never gets around to it. So don't overthink. Just start fucking writing. You do not need a course on how to write a book. Think about it. Did you ask for a course when you had a diary? Like, how do I write my diary? No, you just wrote. I promise you're overthinking this. Just start writing your book. And here's what we'll do. If from part 1 and part 2, you have a ton of questions coming up specific to writing a book, send me an email, info@kyerakacey.com. drop your question in there. My team will create a list of questions for me. I'll come on and I will do another video answering any other specifics that have come up for you, because I want you to write your story and the world needs your story. And yeah, it's going to take courage and vulnerability for you to actually bring, your pain, showing the world how maybe you've turned pain into purpose or whatever it is. I don't know, whatever it is. But it is going to require courage, and it's going to require a willingness to show up in pursuit of your dreams every single day. And as you can see, it's possible.
This podcast was brought to you by my international best-selling book, Rich Bitch Money Goals, Becoming the Energetic Match to Wealth, which is available at over 39,000 retailers across the nation. So make sure you pick up your copy today. You can find it in places like Amazon, Target, Indigo, Barnes & Nobles, Walmart, and more.